everyone, welcome back to another Flames War painting tutorial. This one's for the late war German infantry. So thought I'd bring this out one since we got a lot of Volksgrenadier running around, and you can use this for them. On Facebook I've seen some really well painted German Panzer Grenadiers. This tutorial won't really get you that sort of level of painting, but it will get them onto the table fairly quickly, and it's quite a few quick steps to get them done. Although it will take a bit longer with the more infantry you're painting in one go. So let's get stuck into it, and I hope you enjoy and find it informative.
So here is our late war German. He is base coated in Army Painter uniform grey, and he is ready to go. So late war Germans, they have a cover on the helmet, a canvas cover, or and they also have like a bit of an overcoat or smock, which is a camouflage coat. So we're going to start with that. So just bear in mind, not all of them will have the overcoat or the cover on the helmet. So just revert back to the old Grenadier helmets for them, and just the green-grey for the uniform. So we'll start off with that, and we're going to be using Vallejo German beige, German cam beige World War II. Okay, so that is done. There's a little bundle on this back as well. I paint this colour as well. It's got I think just a raincoat or bedding bundled up back there. If this guy doesn't have a cover on his helmet, we do it the same colour as the gas mask canister on his back, and that will be in German cam dark green. Focus a bit better. So that's German cam dark green. So remember, if the helmet isn't covered, do that one as well. But again, make sure the paint is dry. If you want your models to dry a bit quicker, you can always use a hairdryer, but make sure it's not too hot because you don't want to melt your stuff. Okay, so that is the canister on the back done. So what we're going to do now is the trousers. Now, if he doesn't have a smock, you'll be doing the rest of the uniform this colour, and it will be your German field grey World War II, another Vallejo colour. But yeah, bulk of your guys will have this colour on it unless they have any camouflage on them. Okay, so that is the trousers done, so we're still waiting for a fair few areas to dry off. So what we'll do now is the boots, and we'll use contrast Black Templar. Okay, so that is the boots done, and at this stage, because there's a lot of the model that hasn't been painted yet, don't have to be too precise at this point because we're going to be painting over the gaiters sometime later on. So what we're going to need to do now is wait for that beige to dry up. Remember, you can always use your hairdryer. We're going to start off doing the camouflage splinter pattern. Now, this is the colour scheme I use. I know there's various different colour schemes they use throughout the war, so pick out which one you want, but this is the one I'll be using. So I'll be using flat earth, and basically I'm just going to be doing streaks with a highlighting brush, so fairly large streaks, so as random as I can, going across the smock and helmet. So we'll see what kind of pattern I'm looking for. Now, this isn't the actual colour that's in the book, I'll mention that now, but this is more or less quite similar, so I use this one instead. Okay, so I got the book open. It is, the camo pattern is splinter pattern, which is splitter muster, and the camouflage we should be using is German cam medium brown, but this is fairly similar, but that's what we're going to go for, and I'll show you what it looks like after. Okay, so hopefully you can make that out. Just basically try to get as random as you can. This is kind of like the level size I'm talking about. You'll get fed up of doing it after you've done a whole platoon of them and then working your way onto a company, but once it's done, it does look quite effective. So next step is still working on the camouflage. Basically use a smaller brush for this, and I just kind of like attach it to the ends or in the middle of these streaks, and it's going to be, this is the actual colour, it's going to be Luftwaffe Cam Green, another Vallejo one, and again just like little small blobs along the splinter area. That's how I do it, and it looks quite nice when it's finished, and we'll see in a sec. Okay, so hopefully you can make out the green bits I've added to the camouflage. Obviously you can do it however way you like, and the more random the better. So now that is done, we're going to be doing the gaiters on the legs, the bread bag, the canteen, and the entrenching tool with green grey. Alright, you can see here the gaiters are done, and then you got just by the canteen you got the bread bag, and you got his water bottle by there. The entrenching tool you can't make out that much on this model, but other ones are going to be more or less prominent. So next we're going to be doing the ammo pouches. Now this will only be used for the STG 44 ammo pouches and MP40 ones. The ones for the riflemen keep the leathery colour, which I'll be doing. So for this we're going to be using stone grey. So you can just make just below the STG 44 the new ammo pouches. Now they're done. So now we're going to be hunting down some wooden areas. So rifles will be plenty of wooden areas. STGs is just the stock and the hand grip, so you might not be able to see much of it on many of the models. Don't forget the entrenching tool, and have a look for any stick grenades, because you'll be getting them at this point as well. And for that we'll be using a contrast colour, and we'll be using Wildwood. Okay, so you can't really see much of the stock of the assault gun on this model, so all we really had was the entrenching tool. So at this point, have a hunt around your models for stick grenades, and any Panzerfausts or Panzerschrecks we'll be doing in Middlestone. But there's none to show you on this model, so we'll go on to the next step. So now we'll be doing all the metal areas of the model with gunmetal. I quite like this one because it's quite a dark metallic colour. So obviously SCG 44 is quite easy, it's pretty much all metal. But then for other models and rifles, have a look at the artwork on the box, or maybe go on Google. Sorry, it took a while to focus then. Also metal on this model is going to be the canteen, and there's a little kind of cap on top of the water bottle, so try to get them, and the belt buckle as well. Okay, so that is the assault gun done, and if you go around to the back you should just be able to make out the little container on the back. So what we're going to be doing now is the skin areas, and we're going to be using a Citadel colour base Corax wiper. To be honest, so any white base should do for this stage. Okay, that's the skin areas done. So basically we want to wait for this stage to dry, because we'll be applying another contrast paint to it, and it'll be Guilliman flesh, and this gives a nice good skin colour. And for years I've been struggling to get good skin tones, but this white and then this basically gives you a fairly decent one straight off. So wait for it to dry, and then we'll be applying this. Okay, so that is the skin areas done. So the final stage now, before the shading of the entire model, we'll be doing the belts, the strapping on the straps on the rifles, and don't forget there's going to be lots of little bits of straps on the bundle, the water bottle, and obviously the bayonet on the top of the entrenching tool. So normally I use dryad bark for this, but my dryad bark went and dried up on me. But I found a good substitute, and it's a contrast paint again, and it's Kygor brown. And being a contrast paint, it gets into all the recesses. But I'd vary up what size brush you use for certain areas, because you don't want it going over to your lovely painted model. So we'll do this, and we'll see what it looks like.